What is light? Light is an electromagnetic wave formed by the oscillation of an electric and magnetic field traveling together at the speed of light. It is composed of energy, heat, and radiation, and it is what enables us to see a reflecting object into our eyes, which is then refracted onto our lens. Once it reaches our retina, it then travels as electrical impulses along our optic nerves, and once it arrives in our brain, it is then deciphered and projected outward. Light can also be simply defined as information, and before we go any further, we first need to understand these two words, which is information and transformation. The word in refers to the inner part of something. The word trans means to change, e.g. a transgender, someone who is trying to change their gender. And formation is a group of things arranged in a particular pattern. So information is data which can form your inner being, and transformation is the action needed to change your form. So if you get information on how to be physically fit, the physical action by eating the right foods and exercise will make you change your form. That's why when Goku goes Super Saiyan, they call it a transformation, because he is changing his form. The same thing happens with transformers. So the light from our sun has certain mathematical and geometrical information to turn gases into planets, and it also gives the information to the seed to transform it into a tree. Now our 3D body is our physical body, our 4th dimensional body is our spirit, our 5th dimensional body is our soul, and our 6th dimensional body is our light body. And our light body is what forms our electromagnetic field, which is called an aura. The appearance of our 4th dimensional body is humanoid, but it is etheric, and the appearance of our 5th dimensional body is like a ball of energy and looks like a small sun. And in Latin, the sun is called the soul, and the part of our spiritual body where our soul sits is our solar plexus, but we cannot see it in the astral plane, the same way we cannot see our spiritual body when we are in our physical body. So when our spirit leaves our physical body, we call it astral projection, right? Because we are projecting ourselves into the astral plane. Well, the same thing occurs in 4D too, but since there is no word for it, we're just gonna call it 5D project, which is when your soul leaves your spirit to go to the 5th dimension. When this happens, that is when you appear as a ball of energy. Our light body is formed when our spirit and soul fuses to become one entity. The same way when Vegeta and Goku fuse together to become Vegito. That's how our light body is formed. And when fertilization takes place, our light body then enters our mother's womb to form our physical body. So when your mother breathes in dust particles, the bacteria will be attracted to your light body like a magnet, the same way paper sticks to your ruler after rubbing your head. This will lead to those cells to produce tissues, organs, organ systems, and finally an organism, which is you. So this is what the Bible means when it says man is formed from the dust. So abortion is murder because the baby is alive no matter what stage it may be in. In the astral plane, there is different classes of spirits. You have what you would call civilians, and then you have your royals, which vibrate very, very high. And the reason why they are considered royalties because the elements or gases they are composed of are the noble gases, of which there are 9 in total. 7 is known to the public, which is helium, neon, argon, xenon, radon, arganeson, krypton, and the other 2 are hidden in secret societies such as the Rosicrucians. And the reason why these gases are considered noble is because their valence shell is full and they do not have to form any covalent bonds to make their atoms stable. Civilians vibrate on this level. Can you see on this level they vibrate over here, and then the royals vibrate over here like this. Can you see? Like that. And then the ones who vibrate on this level like very, very low is what you would call demons, and then civilians is here. So the more righteous acts you do, the more you increase your vibration of your spiritual body, and then the more evil acts you do, you lower your vibration of your spiritual body. So yeah, that's how it is over there. And the spirits which vibrate below that brightness cannot incarnate anymore. So this is how they become disembodied spirits and are trapped in hell. And as the saying goes, it's better to live as a homeless person on earth than a king in hell. That is why they choose to inhabit dolls, statues, charms, masks, talismans, etc. And when they live in these objects, it is like a human being stuck in a suitcase. So just imagine you're stuck in a suitcase. That's how it is for these entities. So this is why they make contracts with human beings, so that they can inhabit their body and experience this earth plane. The hell plane is not only on earth, but it is also on other planets such as Mercury, Titan, Neptune, Pluto, which is a twin planet to Titan, and this hell is spoken of in Norse mythology, and the worst of them all is planet Jinn, which orbits Aldebaran or Alpha Tauri. That is why the kings over there have the title of Alpha, such as Pindar, because they come from Alpha Tauri. So when the Galactic Federation takes galactical criminals into planet Jinn, they make sure they are fully armed, because they know that their followers will try and rescue them. It's like drug lords being taken to a prison in Gringoland or a prison in El Salvador, because once you go to planet Jinn, there is no coming out. Now when these noble spirits incarnate in 3D, they can only incarnate as a black person, because melanin is the only substance that can contain that high energy. Because if a noble spiritual being had to incarnate in a Caucasian body, they would either go through spontaneous human combustion, because that high energy spirit cannot be contained in a Caucasian body, because they also might turn into a vegetable like Stephen Hawking. See, Stephen Hawking was too intelligent, he had so much information, that's why he ended up being a vegetable, because his body couldn't contain all that information. But if he had melanin, then it would be totally fine. That is why the smartest person right now on earth is Dr. Malachi Z. Then melanin enables him to store 76 trillion years worth of information. So the darker your skin is, the brighter your light body is. And the paler your skin is, the less bright your light body is. And this is not racism, but it is a spiritual scientific fact. You see, the true color of light isn't white, but it is black. Whenever you burn something, it always turns black, because the color black is the only color that can conduct high energy and heat. So light is composed of black quantum particles which are in constant friction with one another, which leads to a process called triboluminescence. That is why when you stare at the sun for too long, you'll see it turn black, because the sun is actually a black rock. But nuclear fusion between the hydrogen and helium atoms is what causes the sun to shine bright and generate high amounts of energy and heat. So when light beings or six-dimensional beings enter this side of the mirror, which is the prism, breaks down into the 7 visible colors of the electromagnetic spectrum, which can also symbolize our chakras. This is why black people can manifest in any color of the electromagnetic spectrum, because melanin is literally light in the physical dimension. And the black cube in Mecca is called the Kaaba. Ka meaning spirit and Ba meaning soul, which is light. So the black cube represents the black body or the light body.